Hello students, today I am going to discuss the lesson The Verger part 6 page number 7. When the chargeman asked the verger, don't you want to know the news of the world? How do you write a letter? At that time the verger replied, no, my lord, I seem to manage very well without. And of late years, now they have all these pictures in the papers. I get to know what's going on pretty well. My wife's quite a scholar, and if I want to write a letter, she writes it for me. It's not as if I was a betting man. At a time, the Bharja replied, no, my master, I can manage them well without educations. Now, when I see the papers or the news, there are pictures. When I see these pictures, I come to know well by looking at the pictures regarding the news. My wife is literate, and if I want to write a letter, she writes it for me. I am not that type of man who likes bet. মানে মই বাজি মৰা বিধৰ মানুহ নহয়. The two charge wardens gave the vicar a troubled glance and then looked down at the table. The two charge wardens gave the vicar a confused look and then watched over the table. Well, foreman, I have talked the matter over with these gentlemen and they quite agree with me that the situation is impossible. At a church like St. Peter's Naval Square, we cannot have a verger who can neither read nor write. The vicar said, okay, foreman, I have discussed the matter regarding your educations or illiteracy with these gentlemen, and they totally agree with me that the illiterate verger's position in the church is impossible. At a church like St. Peter's Naval Square, we do not want the illiterate verger. Edward's thin, sallow face reddened, and he moved uneasily on his feet, but he made no reply. Albert's thin, pale face, due to extreme excitement, lost color, and he walked nervously and he said nothing. Understand me, foreman, I have no complaint to make against you. You do your work quite satisfactorily. I have the highest opinion both of your character and of your capacity, but we haven't the right to take the risk of some accident that might happen owing to your lamentable ignorance. It's a matter of prudence as well as of principle. Vicar said, try to understand me, foreman. I have no objections regarding you. You do your duty properly. I have the highest opinion or respect regarding your character and capacity, but we cannot take the risk of any accident that may happen due to your deplorable ignorance. It is a matter of care or sincerity as well as principle for the charge. But couldn't you learn, foreman? Asked the general. No, sir, I am afraid I could not. Not now. You see, I am not as young as I was, and If I could not seem able to get the letters in me head, means in my head, when I was a nipper, I don't think there's much chance of it now. No, sir, I don't think I could learn at this stage. I am old now, and if I was unable to learn when I was a child, I do not think there is any possibility at this stage. We do not want to be harsh with you, foreman, said the vicar, but the church wardens and I have quite made up our minds. We'll give you 3 months, and if at the end of that time you cannot read and write, I'm afraid you'll have to go. Vicar informed foreman that they do not like to severe or cruel with him. But regarding his illiteracy, the vicar and the church wardens had already taken the decisions. They gave him 3 months' time, and within that period, if he is unable to learn to read and write, then he is compelled to resign. Albert Edward had never liked the new vicar. He had said from the beginning that they would make a mistake when they gave him St. Peter's. He was not the type of man they wanted with a classic congregations like that, and now he straightened himself a little. He knew his value, and he was not going to allow himself to be put upon. Albert Edward did not like the new vicar. He said from the beginning that the appointing authority had made a mistake by appointing him in the church like St. Peter's. He was not that type of man that they wanted, one who is concerned with the elegant class or associations, or his concern is only with them. Now he becomes straight, determined a little, because he knows his value and he never likes to take advantage on him, means so that others cannot control or use his potentials. And now he straightened himself a little, মানে त्यो ভার্জারে ডিটারমিন হয়েছিল, he knew his value, त्यो জানিছে তেওঁৰ মূল্য, and he was not going to allow himself to be put upon, so that other cannot take advantage on him.